every canine role in John Wick movies. John Wick, aka the Baba Yaga of the assassin world, might come across as a stone-cold killer, but he does have a soft spot in his heart for his canine friends. Dogs have played a crucial role in every single John Wick movie, from being adorable support animals to vicious fighting machines, and the tradition continues even for the recent addition to the franchise, John Wick Chapter 4. In this video, we will be exploring every single dog that appeared in the John Wick movies so far, and the impact they had on the storyline. We will also bring you some behind-the-scenes trivia about the real-life dogs who played these roles. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
I'm up.
Why are dogs so important in John Wick movies? John Wick movies are known for their unique brand of Hollywood action combined with the graceful and brutal style of kung fu movies, and one cannot be blamed for wondering how dogs are such an integral part of such a narrative. In order to find the answer, you have to understand the basic psyche of an average moviegoer. While watching action flicks, it always works best if the viewer finds the protagonist lovable and relatable, because then the audience starts to root for the character. In this case, John Wick is established as a broken man who lost his beloved wife and has nothing to live for. The arrival of a dog adds the much-needed emotional respite for the man, and over the next few movies in the series, the canine characters prove to be the soul and humanity in the heartless and ruthless world. It is also worth noting that none of these dogs have ever attacked John Wick, and this goes on to prove that these animals are a better judge of character than most people out there. They count as one of the few selfless friends that John has in his unforgiving business, and their presence is what makes you fall in love with the seasoned hitman even more. Daisy, the beagle puppy that started it all. There is not much for emotions in John Wick movies, but the presence of Daisy surely offered many of these heartwarming moments in the first movie in 2014. Daisy was a beagle puppy that showed us the soft, nurturing side of the dreaded assassin, and this furry pal is also the reason why John got back in the game. This was a posthumous gift given to John by his late wife, who wanted her grieving husband to have emotional support and a companion who would help him cope with the irreparable loss. Daisy first arrives on John Wick's doorstep through a parcel that contained a note from his late wife. After opening the crate, the puppy immediately took a liking to John and bonded with him in this emotionally draining moment. He learned how to care for a puppy, and it went from feeding her cereal to buying her dog food and making her sleep on the rug beside his bed to allow her on the bed with him. John even took her out for a car ride with him, which turned out to be a fateful moment because Yosef Tarasov, the son of a Russian crime lord, took a liking to John's car and his dog. He even offered to pay a good price, but naturally, John wasn't willing to sell his new friend, who also happened to be something to remember his wife by. Daisy had slowly become a great companion and bonded with John Wick, where she would wake him up before the alarm and show her love by snuggling with him. Then comes one of the most heart-wrenching moments in the entire franchise, when Yosef and his gang break into John Wick's house. They knock out an unsuspecting John Wick and tragically kill the puppy in front of his eyes. He is too injured to fight back, and Yosef and his men also steal his car before leaving. Later, we see a heartbroken John Wick clutching the lifeless body of the puppy before burying her in his backyard. It is also a clear reminder to the audience that things are about to go south from here, because there is no way that the man is going to let these heartless killers walk away freely. This dog was the last thing he had of his wife, and we soon saw him kill scores of men in order to get to Yosef. There is another iconic moment when Yosef, father, the crime lord Vigo, held John Wick captive and demanded to know why he was fighting over just a dog. This terminology triggered John into a furious monologue where he states that he would kill every last one of the people involved, and even Vigo wouldn't be spared if he did not hand over his son. It was a very satisfying moment to watch the death of Daisy being avenged in typical John Wick fashion, and through this movie, it was also clear that John Wick had an emotional side besides his incredible fighting skills. Thankfully, the real-life dog that played the role had a much happier ending. Daisy is actually a boy, and his original name is Andy. A dog trainer named Kim owned him, and you will be happy to know that the adorable pup wasn't hurt in the slightest during the filming of the brutal scene. After working in the movie, the puppy was taken by a friend of the trainer, and he now lives a happy life with his new family. Andy is still alive and kicking, and Kim said in an interview that his name was later changed to Wick by his new family. Surely there couldn't be a better name for the dog. The trainer said that she picked the dog for some special qualities, and the expressive eyes of the puppy were the main reason. He beat 12 other puppies to bag the role, and Keanu hit it off with the puppy immediately. However, since he was only an 8-month-old puppy at the time. He wasn't exactly perfectly trained yet, and the directors used some tricks to get him to perform as required. They would spread bacon grease on Keanu Reeves' cheeks to get the dog to jump on the bed and lick his face, which formed such a nice bonding moment between the two. The trainer also revealed that it was a very difficult scene to film the killing of this cute little puppy, and the directors were quite hesitant about including such a harsh and graphic sequence in the fear of alienating the audience. Chad Stahelski later admitted that they almost did not go through with the scene. The actor who played the role of the guy who kills the puppy, Omar Barnia, felt way too guilty even to fake kill this fluffball, and he kept cuddling the puppy every time the director yelled cut during the scene. Luckily for the makers, the story arc of Daisy being killed actually worked wonders, because the audience found the perfect reason to root for John's killing spree that followed in search of vengeance. John Wick's unnamed pitbull, the goodest boy out there. After John completes his revenge by killing every single person involved in the killing of Daisy and anyone who supported them, he is seriously wounded. It seems for a brief moment that he has lost the will to live as he lies on the road, bloodied and spent. However, his mindset changes after he plays an old video of his wife on his phone, and he realizes that he wants to stay alive in order to cherish the memories of his wife. He gathers every last bit of strength in him and walks into a veterinary center, which also looks like a dog pound, and uses some of the medical supplies to patch himself up. He spots a pit bull in the kennel that is about to be euthanized, and he frees the dog and takes him as his new companion. However, it can be observed that he refuses to name the dog and addresses him as Boy, maybe from the fear of being too attached with the creature. That being said, it is evident that John loves his new canine companion more than anything, and he is always concerned about the well-being of the dog. This unnamed dog plays an important role in saving John Wick in the second movie. Santino demanded John conduct a mission for him in return for the blood oath taken by him many years ago. After John refused, Santino used a grenade launcher to turn his house into a burning ball of flames. As the seasoned hitman is knocked unconscious upon impact, his pit bull wakes him up and helps him gather himself. John Wick then takes his dog to the Continental and puts him under the care of Sharon, an old friend. He readily agrees to take the dog, and even though it is against hotel policies, and this friendly good boy doesn't make a fuss about being abandoned briefly by his owner. Later, after everything is over, Sharon hands back the dog, suggesting that he was a really good dog, and John is seen walking away with his companion. Even in the third John Wick movie, this adorable pit bull is sent to Sharon in a cab because John could not go to the Continental Hotel himself after being declared excommunicado by the High Table. Unlike Daisy, this dog is not overly affectionate and clingy, and he seems to understand the dynamics of John Wick. He follows every command like the perfect good boy, and absolutely loves it when John throws him a few words of affection or a brief snuggle. Burton was the pit bull who played the role in the first and second John Wick movies, and this male pit bull was called Bubba by Keanu Reeves. The actors also spent a lot of time with the dog, feeding and bonding with him to make for a better working experience. You would be amazed to know that just like his on-screen character, Burton was also a rescue dog, and he was picked over the others because of his adorable and empathetic appearance. Cha-Cha, the pit bull who played the role in John Wick Chapter 3, even got into a fight with a horse and came out unharmed. A true badass just like his on-screen master. Of course, the hostility was later attributed to the chaos and pressure in the shooting environment, and the crew ensured that no such future altercations took place. In fact, the same bacon grease trick that worked wonders for Andy was used for Cha-Cha as well for the scene, where he welcomes back his companion at the Continental by licking his face. The heroics of Sofia's Belgian Malinois shepherds. Everyone is a gangster until a couple of Belgian Malinois shepherds are pouncing on their crotch in attack mode. John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum introduces the fiercest dogs in the franchise so far, and they are owned by Sofia, an old acquaintance of John Wick, played by Halle Berry. After John is caught up in a desperate situation, he reaches out to Sofia and demands her help by virtue of a blood oath marker that binds her to return the favor. He wants her to take him to Barada, her former boss, who would direct him to the Elder, the leader of the High Table. Sofia reluctantly takes John to his lair, and she is accompanied by two fiercely loyal and dangerous Belgian Malinois dogs. Barada reveals the secret location of the Elder and how to reach him, but in return, he demands one of the two dogs. When Sofia refuses to give up one of them, the crime lord shoots one of the dogs, but the bullet luckily hits his bulletproof vest. However, this is enough to trigger Sofia to launch a furious attack on his entire gang, and John Wick joins her. Clearly, his soft corner for the canine friends comes into play, and it is a a fight scene worth remembering for the ages. While Sofia and John shoot Barada's henchmen by the dozens, the dogs make short work of many others before launching a lethal bite to Barada's crotch. These dogs are as ferocious as they are agile, and they can scale high walls and jump inside cars effortlessly. They greatly help the duo in escaping alive from a place that is teeming with Barada's men, and these Belgian Malinois shepherds are easily one of the most badass dogs in the franchise. Although you see 2 dogs in the scene, there are actually 5 separate dogs kept ready for the stunts. Different sequences were shot using different dogs so that they never got too fatigued and stressed out. These dogs were called Santana, Boyka, Tai, Sam 7, and Icar, and all the dogs developed a great relationship with Halle Berry. In fact, the actress wanted the scenes to look completely natural and organic, and she did not want a dog handler shouting the commands. She spent a lot of time training and bonding with these dogs, and by the time the filming took place, they were taking commands from her. While these dogs were extremely well trained and well behaved, the crew still had a problem while shooting in Morocco because the location happened to be an area full of stray cats. Halle Berry said in an interview that it was quite a challenge to control the dogs who went ballistic every time they spotted one of these stray cats and started chasing them.
If you win, the table will honor its word.
How important is the role of dogs in John Wick Chapter 4? Keeping up with the rich legacy of canine actors, the new movie introduces a special dog alongside John Wick's familiar pitbull. This is another Belgian Malinois shepherd, which belongs to the mysterious assassin Mr. Nobody, and he plays a very crucial role in shaping the fate of John Wick. He accompanies Mr. Nobody, aka the Tracker, like a shadow, and helps him fight off the assassins who are trying to kill John Wick. However, he is only doing so to increase the value of the bounty on John Wick's head, so that he can take it for himself. Even though his final aim is to kill John, he doesn't do so, and once again it is because of his canine friend. John saved the life of his dog when he was about to be shot, and this changes Mr. Nobody's mind. Besides, the slim doubt that stayed with him because of the massive prize money is quickly put to rest by his unnamed dog, who whimpers when Mr. Nobody thinks of taking the shot. This dog also has a unique rivalry with the character named Chidi, one of the baddies who throws the dog in front of an oncoming car previously. Finally, when Chidi is killed, the dog has the most iconic revenge by peeing on his body, saving the life of John Wick to return the favor and attacking every seeming threat to his owner and John. While ranking up a significant body count, this canine accomplice is as good as gold in the context of the movie. This dog also makes fans think of a possible relationship between Mr. Nobody and Sofia, since this one is also a Belgian Malinois. There are theories that suggest now Mr. Nobody can be her estranged husband or friend, and some even seem to think that this dog is one of the 2 that we have seen in John Wick Chapter 3. John Wick's pitbull also has a crucial role in the climactic scene of the movie that might indicate the future story arc in the franchise. After the apparent death of John Wick following the duel, Winston and the Bowery King are shown mourning the loss in front of his tombstone beside his late wife. The dog has accompanied the 2, and he is now the Bowery King's pet following John's demise. However, just as the scene cuts away, the dog can be seen looking up all of a sudden and staring at a distance. We have every reason to believe that John Wick might have faked his death in order to avoid any further part in the events of the underworld. The dog might have picked up his scent and spotted him at a distance, where the hitman is standing, witnessing the whole thing. Of course, the whole thing is merely an assumption, but it would surely be a great way to start off a new story going ahead. How did the franchise get away without too much CGI for the scenes with the dogs? The best part about the use of dogs in every movie in the franchise is the lack of CGI. Even for the most difficult fight sequences, including an unbelievable jump in the 3rd movie, it is always the dogs doing the trick with some training. Even the scenes where they pounce on individuals and bite them are real, even though CGI had to be used for the crotch biting moments because there's literally no way for a dog to bite an actor in the crotch safely. The makers placed CGI cones over the crotch area, and the dogs were trained to bite those in order to make the scenes look realistic enough. The dog trainers involved deserve all the credit because it is the hours of their training and direction that enabled the makers to film such challenging scenes. Man's best friends certainly serve as a valuable asset for John Wick, and as you can see, they also impact the direction where the story might be headed next. For the sake of tradition and the joy of watching them on screen, we hope that the saga of these unforgettable canine companions continues even in the future additions to the franchise. Do let us know in the comments below about your thoughts on the role of dogs in John Wick movies, and tell us about your personal favorite among them all.